Claudia, did you want to kick us off?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Claudia Santana, and I'm going to be your technical guru tonight. Well, this morning. I'm used to have this one tonight. This morning. This topic that we are going to present is going to be three words. Like, it's going to be a workshop for three words to design your life you love, design the life you love. And just as a reminder, this is part of a whole workshop that we are working, and it's going to be to improve your performance and happiness. So just to improve your pH levels. And the main idea for this just to keep your cameras on, have like a dynamic conversation, get the most of it. And of course, we have our amazing Shayla King. She's going to be leading us in this workshop, and I'm pretty sure after this hour, we are going to have like a clear vision of what we want to accomplish this and third few years.
I love it. Thank you, Claudia. Yeah, so during our time together, we'll talk about why we use three words, what they'll actually, how they'll help us guide throughout our year. And you'll get time yourself to journal and brainstorm what your three words might be. And that will give you a chance to share at the end if you feel open to it. So, just a few things of background. So, my name is Shayla King, and I am an executive life coach. I was an executive in corporate America for 20 years prior to that. And I offer these free workshops, and I work with clients in one on one year long transformations. And my goal is always to help women work less, make more, and design a life that they love. So, with that, a couple of housekeeping things. We did create a new Evolve VIP list. So, Claudia will put that in the chat for us. And what this is we have some people that are like, if you're having a workshop, I want to know about it. And I don't want to miss anything through, a post on social media. So, if you add your email to this list, we'll go ahead and directly send you a calendar invite each time. And then, just like, if you're like me and live off of your calendar, then it will be on there. You'll have, a month notice. And if it works, great, come join us. And if for some reason you can't, you can just decline the meeting request. But if you add your email to that link, then you will always be in the know for any events that we have in the future. And then also for a little bit of housekeeping, if you missed it, I was on Stacey Boehman's podcast last week. And so we're putting the link in there if you didn't have a chance to see it. It is just a cool overview if you're interested in my life's journey and climbing the corporate ladder as a single mom with autoimmune diseases. And then I did have a near-death experience last year, and I talk about the power of life coaching and the mindset work that really helped me heal and come through that experience. So if you're interested, that podcast link is below. And then finally, something cool we're doing this month. This is my birthday month. And so I am giving you guys all a present for it. So I'm giving away 11 free coaching sessions. No strings attached, no sales pitch, just free coaching. And so if you join the newsletter as well, we're going to send you a link so that you can sign up and enroll to be one of the 11 selected ladies for free coaching. So that's kind of our housekeeping items, and we can go ahead and jump in. So why do we do any of this work? Well, we do it because most people let life happen to them. But what we want is to intentionally design a life that we love. And so in order to do that, we have to slow down. We have to tap into our true desires, and we have to decide what we want out of life and how we're going to get it. So these sessions really help us to do that. And this is the three words is going to be one more tool in your toolbox. So perfect. So just so you guys know, we did two sessions that kind of relate to the topic that we're going through today earlier this year. And the first was vision boards. And we each had a chance to make a digital vision board for our life. And in that session, part of what we talked about is just the neuroscience behind it. And that when we visualize an activity, our brain actually feels as if it's actually happening to us, right? It means that we're tricking our brain into thinking we're already living that and we're already in it, which makes us more likely and more open when things happen that will help us get there. So we did the vision boards. That's a tool for your toolbox. Then last month, we went through the 4 steps to intentionally design a life you love. And in that one, we started off with knowing and declaring what you actually want, so that then the people and the world around you can help you find ways to achieve it. We talked about understanding the who. So it's actually creating your new version of your self concept. Who actually achieves what you're wanting to have in life? And how can you study the person who accomplishes that and then work to embody it now, even before you achieve your goals? Then the third step was to feel and act as if it's already true. So have the emotion. What can you commit to that will give you daily actions and those daily things that you feel like you can actually commit to that will lead to your success? Right? And then at the same time, being open because you will be presented with big, amazing things and ways that you can achieve your goal. So just being open to that along the way. And then don't quit until you achieve it. As long as you don't quit, you're on your path to that goal, right? And if you take out the element that failure is an option, then all you're going to do is say, okay, that didn't work. What can I try now? Right? So the 4 steps to intentionally design a life you love is a foundational element, another tool in your toolbox. For today, we're going to go in and we are going to talk about the 3 words. But before we do, I want you to reflect, look back on your notes from those prior sessions, and I want you to think about, what do you want your year to look like? What changes would you like to see in your life? And so we will actually take some time now and do a journaling exercise. I love this quote by Carl Jung. It is, why we reflect and journal. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So there is so much happening inside of our brain. And if we don't slow down and understand our own thoughts and how we're influencing ourselves, then it will just keep feeling like life is happening to us. Instead, what we're going to do is use the journaling practice to be able to uncover what is in our brain and what's serving us and what's not. So let's start today with an exercise of brainstorming. And I'm going to give everyone 5 minutes to just think about, you can look through your notes from our past sessions, but decide what you want for this year. So don't worry about your 3 words yet. Just tell me what you want for the year. And you're going to just scribble and brainstorm and not judge anything that comes to the paper. And just think of everything and let it all out. Okay. What do you want for this year? What are your desires? All right. I'll give everyone 5 minutes and I'll join you in journaling. As you're writing, you can absolutely put the things that you want. You can also put the ways you want to feel. I want to feel XYZ. We have a few more minutes left. All right, I'll let you wrap up what you're working on and we'll come back together as a group. All right. Does anyone have anything that they want to share that they got from their notes? One of the things that came up for me was that I kept seeing that I wanted organization in my life. And it was all relating back to like the feeling of calmness and control. So I kind of said that across every category. So I think it's always interesting to look for some of those themes as well that you might want in different areas of your life.
For me, with a little bit like patience. I'm used to get like all changes in my life like super, super fast. Like I got married, I moved to another country, I got a new job, and now that I'm like 2 years in the same position, it's like, yeah, what's next? What's next? But I need to understand that I need to prioritize, like I need to learn what I'm doing and then look for the next step. And that's also like okay to slow down a little bit, enjoy what I'm doing, and then move forward. So for me, yeah, something I realized like more like patience.
Great. Thank you for sharing. All right. So now that we know what we want, we can create these 3 words in order to help guide us for the year. And so as we think about the words, they're going to be ones that can be our guiding principles. They can help us make decisions, influence our behavior, and influence our mindset. So they're broad enough to encompass various parts of your life, yet specific enough to actually keep us directed towards our overarching vision. And so it helps us maintain focus, encourages flexibility, and promotes a holistic balance in our lives. So as we're thinking about our words for the year, one of the things that I do is I do it as a partnership with my husband. And so we both reflect on last year and what worked and what didn't, and have a conversation around that, kind of like the exercise we just did. And then we both independently come up with what we think words could be for the year. Then we're going to meet together and say, hey, like maybe I came up with 3, maybe I came up with 1, but here's where I'm starting. What do you think? And so if you're going to do this with a partner in your life, it really does help if you guys do some independent brainstorming before you come together so that you don't get, they call it group think and bigger groups, right? But so that you don't just start with one idea, you can truly start with more creativity and more different angles. And so as part of that, you would then come back together and you would be able to say, okay, here's a word I thought about. How does that feel for you? Does that align to where you think we're going? Right. So I'll give you an example. For this year, one of our words is focus. And the word that I wanted it to be initially was constraint. So constraint can have some negative connotation to it, right? But I have really loved the word constraint because for me, it's you'll always have more good ideas than the capacity to execute. Have you ever heard that saying before? And so constraint is no. You are going to choose the critical few things that are important that you're committed to this year, and you're going to constrain down to those. And I felt like I needed that form of the word because I liked the discipline part of it. I liked how it hit, right? But to him, he's like, constrain. I don't want to be constrained. That sounds terrible, right? But to me, Focus works for me because it's about focusing on the critical few things that are important. And so through that dialogue, we're able to then literally we'll Google synonyms for words, right? Until you find one that feels good for both of you and applies to the situations that you want it to. So that word may work for both work and for home. It may work for spending. It can work for a lot of different categories. So as you think through that, make sure you do look up synonyms and are open to other ones so that they evoke the emotion that you want and they evoke the focus level that you want as you're choosing your words. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example from a couple of years ago. So I have a blended family, and me and my daughters moved from Chicago to Austin a couple of years ago. And so as we were thinking about our 3 words for that year, we came up with connection, simplicity, and strength. And the connection was about building the connection between these new stepbrothers and stepsisters, right? And between our new blended family, but also the connection in our community because we were brand new here. And it was really important to me that we made friends. And I always say, I want friends that you can do life with, right? I love the example of I want to be able to sit on my bed, have my friend sit on my bed while I'm cleaning out my closet and we're just talking about life, right? And so you don't just get those from casually meeting people, you have to be intentional about it. So when we use the word connection, we wanted the connection within our own new blended family and within new friend groups where we lived, right? And so that was one of the words for us for that year. We also said simplicity because together we have 5 kids and we knew that life was going to be busy. We have no family here. So when you think about the day to day and what that shuffle looks like, we needed to find ways that would simplify our life. And some of that even related to chores and routines with the kids so that we could keep things simple. And then finally was strength. And part of that was physical because I had autoimmune diseases and I wanted to just get stronger and feel better about myself, which thank God I focused on that year because that's the year that I ended up having a stroke and a coma. And because my health was as good as it was when it happened is one of the reasons that they think I survived, right? So those were our 3 words for the year. And we talked about them constantly. We actually got bracelets with them written on them. And we would say, how do we think we're doing? And so we'd meet every month and say, how is connection going? Well, here's some steps I've taken in that area. How is simplicity going? Oh my God, the kitchen is always a disaster. It's a bottleneck for us when we think about our life being simple and mealtime, and coming up with meals last second for this many people is not working, right? How are we going to fix that bottleneck in our life? And it may seem like out of everything to worry about in life is how you plan for dinner a big deal. Well, if it's something that causes a daily stress and it's something that you can just slow down enough to fix, why wouldn't you? Right? But would we ever have had the conversation and said, how can we build a process around this if we hadn't said, what's our word and our focus for the year and how are we doing against it? Right? So again, it's that time about slowing down and intentionally designing our life. So now we have this beautiful process that my friends are jealous of where my daughters have every other day that they're in charge of the kitchen. And so after dinner, they do all of the dishes, they clean all the counters, they reset the whole thing. And then before school, they unload the dishwasher. So we know on odd days, it's one kid, on even days, it's another kid. And just so you know, the girls are who's with us full time. It's not that we only give girls chores. Since I did say I had girls and boys, and then I only said the girls did the kitchen cleanup, I thought as a feminist, I should add that in, that is not why. But anyhow, so that was something that now, of course, kids don't like new chores and new processes, and they complained at first and they didn't do a good job at first, but now it's like clockwork. Now they know what's expected of them. We reiterated what a good looks like, what a clean kitchen looks like. And now that is something that doesn't affect us at all in our lives anymore. It's just we always have a clean kitchen, right? And then for strength as well, it's, well, what does that actually mean for strength? Does it mean that I need to go see a new specialist? Does it mean I need to try new supplements? Does it mean I need to get a trainer, go to the gym? What does the outcome actually look like? And what will good look like for us there? So that's just an example for you of what our words were the first year. And then the second year, we changed it up to create, achieve, and celebrate because we felt like we had created the connections and we had simplified our lives. So now we were in a new space to be able to do different things that following year, right? So for now, let's go ahead and jump in and let you brainstorm what your 3 words could be. And I do have some friends that love just one word. They're like, here's my word of the year. It's my inspiration for the year. So use it however it works for you. So come up with 1 to 3, and I'll give you another 7 minutes to brainstorm your 3 words. I'll give you 1 more minute to finish up. All right, is anyone willing to share what one of their words is and why it's important to them?
You can go first. Okay, mine are change, adventure, and simplicity. It's gonna be a challenging year. Um, it will have adventure because we are in a time to decide if we are going to go move abroad with my husband. So it's going to be complicated because we are going to leave family here. We're going to be alone in the new place, and simplicity because we are moving just with our bags, and that's all. So
Oh, yeah.
start from scratch.
Where are you looking at moving, Belia?
Austin.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. Well, I could show you
Yeah,
around.
for sure. I will let you know.
Very cool.
I can go next. One of the words that I chose was diversify. And that's really on every level. And it's not just thinking outside of the box, it's ditching the old box, picking up a new box, and really working with what's outside of that, and
Love
just
it.
bringing in totally new on just different levels. As I plan to move, but it's not Austin, it's out of Texas. So there you go.
You're moving from Texas to somewhere else.
Right, right. Not sure where yet, but I think that's part of that diversifying plan. Yeah,
Yeah, love it.
yeah.
How much adventure is in that?
A lot. And my word of the year was actually passion. I chose one year because I had forgotten what passion looks like. I have forgotten what stirs that spark within me. And so that's one of my three this time as well. And so, yeah.
I love that. And I love that you're joining us for this because that's exactly what I talk to my clients about. One in our consults, I always say, like, what brings you joy? And they always look at me like I'm a little green alien, like, who has time for joy, Shayla? Right. And I was just talking to one of my clients this morning who said, I don't remember the last time I was happy, and I am so happy. And like we were both like having a tear moment, right? But I was like, you just look so in control and so passionate and so happy. And she goes, I am, right? And I love just reminding each woman about the light in them and
Mhm.
about that passion and that spark, because that's what life's about. We're not promised tomorrow. So we want to live full out and love and enjoy that piece of us. So I love that, Ellen, and thank you for sharing.
Mhm.
I used to do a lot of in-person facilitation, and in-person facilitation, you have to ask a question and then you count to somewhere between 5 and 10. And what we found is on Zoom calls, you have to count between 10 and 20. And it's because it takes people a little bit longer to feel like, okay, maybe I'll do it. And then wait, where's that unmute button? And so sometimes people, as soon as they're finally ready, then the facilitator moves on. And so I want to make sure I don't do that, but it's not pressured. Anybody can share if they want. Nobody has to. But I am pretty comfortable with the uncomfortable pause. So we'll always add those in just to make sure if anyone wants to share that they can. So. All right. Well, now that you have at least a draft of your 3 words, what I recommend you do is if you have any family members that you want to be part of the process, that you chat with them about it. So go ahead and meet with them this weekend, ask them to brainstorm some words themselves before you share yours, and then come together and see if you want to hone those words and find ones that will help you as inspiration throughout the year. Um, All right. So, a couple other things next month. We've got some cool workshops to increase your pH balance, right? So, performance and happiness. We are going to have one on wine and relationships, and it will be how to intentionally create friends as an adult. And we're going to go through some activities that you can do there. And one of my clients is a sommelier. And so she's going to come on and teach us a little bit about wine as well. So for that one, you can bring your wine and we will do it in the evening instead of in the middle of the day. And so that one will be at 6 or 6:30. We'll have that posted for you soon. And then the next one is ask your favorite HR lady. And that one is actually an audio only event that we do on LinkedIn. And you can bring any question that you have that relates to how to improve your personal performance, your team's performance, or your company's performance or culture at work. And we'll ask anything, and you can kind of play Stump the HR Lady in that area. And then again, there's the link that Claudia put in the chat. If you want to get direct calendar invites so you never miss anything in the future, you can mark that. And I'm glad that we were able to have a small, intimate group today. We're playing around with if it should be midday or in the evenings. And we've had between the 5 of us today and 40 on a call. So each time it's a little bit different. And it was wonderful to have a smaller, intimate group with you ladies today. And if anyone has any questions, I'll stay behind for that. But if not, I'll give you a few minutes back. And as always, I'm Shayla King, and I'm your coach, cheerleader, and accountability partner, and I love evolving together.